The last babysitting job I ever took. I used to think babysitting was the easiest money a teenager could make. Show up, order pizza, watch a movie, get paid. Simple. That's what I believed, until the night I babysat for the Whitmore family. It's been 6 years. I'm 22 now, and I still check every room before I go to sleep. Back then, I was 16 and living just outside Columbus, Ohio. I was saving for my first car, so when my mum's co-worker offered me a last-minute babysitting job for $150, I accepted without thinking twice. The Whitmores lived in a beautiful neighborhood where nothing ever seemed to go wrong. Perfect lawns, nice cars, friendly neighbors. Their 9-year-old son, Owen, was quiet but polite. The only strange thing, he kept staring toward the upstairs hallway. Before leaving, Mr. Whitmore showed me the house. Everything looked normal until we reached one closed bedroom. He locked the door and said, "You won't need anything in here." Mrs. Whitmore handed me emergency numbers, smiled awkwardly, and added, "If Owen says he hears footsteps upstairs, it's just the house settling." I laughed. She didn't. For the first couple of hours, everything was fine. We ordered pizza, played Mario Kart, argued about pineapple on pizza. The kid actually made me laugh. Around 8:30, Owen muted the TV. Without looking away from the staircase, he whispered, "He's walking again." I listened. At first, nothing. Then, thump, thump, thump. Heavy footsteps echoed from upstairs. I smiled nervously. Probably the air conditioner. Owen didn't answer. He just kept staring at the ceiling. A few minutes later, the front doorbell rang. I checked the camera. Nobody. The recording showed motion at the front porch, but no person ever appeared on screen. That was enough to make me uneasy. Later, while grabbing another soda from the kitchen, I heard someone running upstairs. Fast. The footsteps stopped directly above me. Then something small rolled across the floor, like a marble. I walked back into the living room. "Owen?" The couch was empty. My heart dropped. I searched downstairs before hearing him laugh upstairs. I found him sitting cross-legged in the hallway, staring at the locked bedroom door. "I heard somebody talking," he whispered. I pressed my ear against the door. Nothing. As we turned to leave, a whisper came from inside. "Don't leave." I froze. Owen looked at me. "I told you, he talks now." I grabbed the doorknob, still locked. "Owen, what's in this room?" "My dad says if I hear someone talking in there, I'm supposed to ignore it." Before I could respond, a loud crash came from downstairs. We ran to the kitchen. One dining chair had been knocked over. Every door was still locked. Every window was shut. Nobody was there. I called Mrs. Whitmore. Instead of explaining everything, I simply asked, "Has anyone ever broken into your house?" She went quiet, then softly answered, "No. Why?" I told her to come home immediately. While we waited, Owen and I locked ourselves inside the master bedroom. Every light stayed on. 20 minutes passed. Nothing happened. I finally started relaxing. Then, 3 slow knocks hit the bedroom door. Knock, knock, knock. A calm man's voice followed. "Owen, open the door." The voice sounded inches away, like someone was standing on the other side. Owen grabbed my arm. "He found us." After another long silence, I slowly opened the door. The hallway was empty. The only thing on the floor was a blue marble. Owen stared at it. "I lost that last year." 5 minutes later, his parents finally came home. I told them everything. Without saying a word, Mr. Whitmore unlocked the mysterious bedroom. It was empty. No furniture, no boxes, nothing. I looked at him. "Then why lock it?" He sighed. "When we moved in, Owen had an imaginary friend. He always said the man lived in this room. We locked it after he stopped talking about him." I left without taking the money. 3 days later, the Whitmores moved away. Not because of my story, because they checked their hallway security camera. The footage showed Owen and me hiding inside the bedroom. Then, at exactly 10:43 p.m., the locked bedroom door slowly opened. A tall man stepped into the hallway. He stood outside our door for almost 2 minutes, knocked 3 times, looked directly into the camera, smiled, then calmly walked back into the empty room. Seconds later, Mr. Whitmore unlocked that same room. It was completely empty. There were no windows, no closets, no second exit. No explanation. I never babysat again. But sometimes, when I wake up in the middle of the night, I still hear 3 slow knocks. Knock, knock, knock. And for just a second, I wonder if that room was ever really empty.
Someone kept calling our names. 3 summers ago, my best friend Ethan and I rented a condo on the outskirts of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We just graduated high school and wanted one last trip before college. The condo was cheap, almost suspiciously cheap, but neither of us cared. The owner said it had been empty for a few months because of renovations. Fresh paint, new flooring, everything looked perfect. It even smelled brand new. The first day was great. We explored the town, grabbed burgers. Nothing felt strange. Around 1 in the morning, I woke up. Not because of a noise, because someone whispered my name. Ryan. I opened my eyes. The room was dark. Only moonlight spilled through the curtains. "Ethan?" I whispered. No answer. I figured I dreamed it and rolled over. The next morning, Ethan looked exhausted. Before I could say anything, he asked, "Did you call my name last night?" I laughed. "No." His smile disappeared. I heard someone say, "Ethan," right outside my bedroom. Neither of us spoke for a moment. We blamed the neighbors. Thin walls. Problem solved. That evening, we cooked dinner, tried not to think about it. Around 11, the power flickered, just once, then came back. At exactly the same moment, we both heard it. "Ryan." This time, we were both awake. The voice came from downstairs. Neither of us moved. A few seconds later, another whisper. "Ethan." It sounded calm, patient, like someone was trying not to wake anyone else. We grabbed our phone flashlights and slowly walked downstairs. The kitchen was empty. Living room, empty. Front door, still locked. Nothing. We searched every room. Nobody. By then, neither of us felt like joking anymore. The next afternoon, we went hiking, spent as much time away from the condo as possible. When we returned, something immediately felt off. The TV was on, muted. We both remembered turning it off before leaving. Then Ethan noticed something else. One dining chair had been pulled away from the table, just enough to look like someone had recently been sitting there. We checked every lock again. Nothing was disturbed. That night, we decided to stay awake. At 12:18, the lights flickered again. Then, 3 slow footsteps echoed beneath us. Step, step, step. The condo didn't have a basement. At least, that's what the floor plan online had shown. The footsteps stopped directly beneath the living room. Then, a man's voice drifted upward, barely louder than breathing. "Come downstairs." I looked at Ethan. He looked just as terrified. "There isn't a downstairs," he whispered. Neither of us slept. The next morning, we asked the property manager if the building had a basement. He looked confused. "No." Then he paused. "Well, there used to be one." He explained the original building had suffered a major foundation collapse years earlier. The basement had been permanently sealed during reconstruction. Nobody had been down there since. Neither of us mentioned the voices. We just packed our bags. Before leaving, I walked back inside one last time to grab my charger. As I reached the front door, I heard Ethan calling me. "Ryan." I turned around. Nobody. Then I looked outside. Ethan was still loading the car, nearly 50 feet away. He hadn't said a word. I ran out of that condo without looking back. A week later, out of curiosity, I checked the rental listing. It had been removed. The owner simply wrote, "Property permanently closed for structural issues." Sometimes, late at night, I'll still hear someone whisper my name just before I fall asleep. The strange part, it never sounds threatening. It sounds like they're still waiting for me to come downstairs.